the highly anticipated reunion of Blake Shelton and Kelly Clarkson on her daytime talk show took a shocking turn when a friendly conversation about their time together on The Voice spiraled into an unexpectedly heated clash. What began as a lighthearted exchange of playful banter quickly escalated when Kelly pressed Blake on his decision to leave the singing competition, questioning whether he had truly stepped away to focus on family or if there were deeper reasons behind his exit. Blake, known for his humor and laid-back charm, seemed caught off guard by Kelly's pointed remarks, and his usual witty comebacks gave way to visible frustration. The audience, initially laughing along, grew tense as the back and forth turned sharp, with Kelly insisting on transparency and Blake firing back that she was crossing a line by bringing up personal motives on national television. Cameras captured Kelly trying to redirect the conversation, but Blake's irritation only deepened, and in an uncharacteristic moment, he rose from his chair mid-interview and stormed off the stage, leaving Kelly stunned in front of a silent crowd. The walk-off immediately set social media ablaze, with fans debating whether Kelly had gone too far or if Blake had overreacted to a question that, for many, seemed fair given their history. Asterisk behind the scenes, producers scrambled to cut to commercial while Kelly attempted to maintain her composure, but the fallout was already in motion. Sources close to the show reported that Blake refused to return to finish the segment, heading straight out of the studio while muttering that he didn't sign up for an interrogation. Kelly, visibly shaken but determined to push forward, later addressed the incident to the audience, acknowledging their long-standing friendship. While admitting that sometimes conversations with people you love can hit a nerve, the incident drew immediate coverage across entertainment outlets, framing it as a clash of two powerhouse personalities who share mutual respect but also carry unresolved tension from years of working closely together. Fans flooded Twitter with divided opinions, with hashtags like #TeamKelly and #TeamBlake trending within hours, turning the episode into one of the most buzzed-about moments in daytime television. Industry insiders speculated about the long-term impact on their friendship and whether Blake would ever agree to return to Kelly's show after such a public blow-up. Asterisk, as the dust settled from Blake Shelton's dramatic storm-off, the entertainment world erupted into a full-scale frenzy, with major outlets replaying the clip on a loop and dissecting every word of the exchange. Morning shows and late-night hosts alike seized on the spectacle, some joking about how Kelly's warmth could still trigger fireworks, while others questioned whether producers had intentionally pushed the conversation toward controversy for ratings. Fellow celebrities began weighing in, with some of Blake's country music peers defending his reaction, arguing that Kelly had crossed into personal territory that should have remained off-limits. On the flip side, several of Kelly's industry friends praised her for keeping her composure under pressure, noting that as a talk show host, she had every right to dig deeper into topics her audience cared about. The clash became a case study in the blurred line between entertainment and authenticity, sparking online debates about whether stars should expect tough questions when sitting down on daytime TV. What surprised many was the sheer level of passion fans displayed in their responses, with diehard supporters of both stars clashing in online forums, trading old clips from The Voice to prove which one of them had a stronger legacy. Asterisk behind the scenes, tensions only deepened as producers scrambled to manage the fallout from Blake Shelton's exit, with some crew members leaking that the atmosphere on set had been tense even before filming began. Rumors spread quickly that Blake had nearly canceled his appearance altogether, but contractual obligations had forced him to go through with it, setting the stage for a combustible confrontation. Meanwhile, Kelly Clarkson was said to be furious at how her show was being portrayed, with insiders revealing she felt unfairly painted as the aggressor, when in her eyes she was simply doing her job as a host by pressing Blake on questions that her audience wanted answered. Network executives reportedly held emergency calls to assess the damage, worried that advertisers might pull out due to the controversy, while simultaneously recognizing that the drama had drawn record-breaking views online. In Nashville, Blake's inner circle began quietly advising him to lay low, reminding him that his image as a laid-back country star could be at risk if he continued to look combative on national television. At the same time, some industry experts suggested the feud might actually fuel renewed interest in both artists, hinting that controversy could be a strange blessing in disguise. **** in the days following the clash, the public response was split, with fans taking to social media to fiercely defend their favorites. Blake Shelton's supporters argued that Kelly had gone too far, framing her questions as confrontational rather than playful banter, while Kelly's fans accused Blake of being thin-skinned and unprofessional for storming off. Hashtags like #TeamBlake and #TeamKelly trended simultaneously, with heated debates breaking out in comment sections across Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Media outlets capitalized on the frenzy, releasing side-by-side breakdowns of the argument, while late-night comedians used the confrontation as fresh material for monologues, only amplifying the buzz. Music industry insiders speculated whether this very public rift might spill into their professional circles, especially given their shared history on The Voice and overlapping fan bases. Reports even hinted that producers of upcoming award shows were reconsidering pairing them for any joint appearances, fearing an unpredictable repeat of the clash. Yet others argued that this kind of controversy could boost ratings and ticket sales, sparking quiet conversations about whether a reunion or even a staged reconciliation might eventually be orchestrated to maximize publicity. ***. As the dust settled, both Kelly Clarkson and Blake Shelton were forced to address the fallout, though in very different ways. Kelly, ever the professional, used her next episode to lightly acknowledge the situation without directly naming Blake, telling her audience that passionate conversations are part of what makes her show real. Blake, on the other hand, went on a country radio program and vented more openly, admitting he walked off because he felt ambushed by questions that crossed a personal line. The contrast in their responses only fueled further speculation, with tabloids painting Kelly as composed and Blake as defensive. Behind the scenes, however, insiders reported that Kelly's team had been inundated with calls from publicists of other stars, some asking whether the show had become too risky for casual promotional appearances. Meanwhile, Blake's camp debated whether he should lie low or capitalize on the drama with a defiant statement. What neither side expected was the ripple effect across the entertainment industry. Late-night producers, podcast hosts, and even festival organizers began quietly recalibrating how they handled celebrity interviews, wary of sparking their own air walk-offs. Fans, meanwhile, seemed to relish every update, treating the feud like a serialized drama with no clear end in sight. ***. The ripple effects of Blake Shelton's storm-off quickly spilled over into his personal and professional circles, straining relationships that had once seemed unshakable. Reports swirled that Gwen Stefani, caught in the middle of her husband and her close friend Kelly Clarkson, was privately fuming over being dragged into the headlines against her will. Some insiders claimed Gwen urged Blake to patch things up for the sake of their family's public image, while others suggested she sympathized with his frustration but wished he had handled it differently. Meanwhile, Kelly was said to be navigating awkwardness with fellow Voice alumni, some of whom felt pressure to pick a side in the fallout. Nashville insiders hinted that a few country artists canceled planned appearances on Kelly's show out of loyalty to Blake, while pop stars in Kelly's corner began rallying publicly behind her, posting supportive comments and clips online. Fans dissected every subtle move, whether Gwen liking one of Kelly's Instagram posts or Blake cracking a joke about TV drama during a live performance as possible clues about where alliances stood. The entertainment press, smelling a long-running saga, leaned into the narrative of a friendship-turned-rivalry, framing it as part of a larger story about egos, loyalty, and the blurred line between show business and personal life. ***.